What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a recap of Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 1 and 2. Sorry for the radio silence for the past week or so. I moved in to my new house with my fiance, and it happened to be moving week right when they dropped Justice League, Snyder Cut, and the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I was very busy with my schedule and I didn't get a chance to put out a video, but here I am now. As you can see, I have a new pop setup over here. Once I get it fully finished, I can do a tour video of my new man cave setup. I have a couple little things I'm working on to keep it better organized, but I can do a separate video for that at a later point. Either way, let's break down Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So last week's episode, honestly, there wasn't a lot of plot development that I personally saw. But I will say right out of the gate, we can see how much power creep Falcon got in the opening scene. I mean, we got to remember that he had just came back from being blipped 5 years ago. So for him to have those flight capabilities and still doesn't look so rusty, and if anything, he even looked better than before, just goes to show that his character has progressively gotten stronger within his abilities as the Falcon. I can't say the same so much for Bucky, but we'll get right into that. Moving forward in the episode, we see cuts between Falcon and Bucky, and we see the storyline that is progressing with Bucky, and I must say, I'm a big fan, especially after today's episode, I'm a big fan of the plot development and character development that is going on with the Winter Soldier's character. I liked how he has his psychologist trying to put him through these therapy sessions to try to make him a better person and really amend for all the sins that he had done as the Winter Soldier. I even told my fiance, like, how cool would it be for somebody to say, oh yes, by the way, your first client as a new psychologist, as a new therapist is going to be the Winter Soldier himself. Like, I mean, that man has been through some shit. Obviously, he committed all these assassinations, murders, whatever you want to call them, under Hydra's puppeteering, and he still has a soul that he wants to amend of all those sins that he committed when he wasn't in control of his actions. Moving forward, we also see the introduction to the Flag Smashers. This is going to be one of the potential villains, sideline villains of this series. We see that they're like a syndicate of people who want to make the world like it was during the blip in terms of less border restrictions and more open environment, I guess you can call it. And we can see that in the footage that they showed that they are enhanced beings. They're super strong. There might be some form of a super soldier serum going on with them. And as we get into episode 2, like I'll talk again later in this video, we see that they are definitely above human power grade. So the rest of the season is going to end up being how they're going to figure out what their MO is, what their deal is, how are they getting this strong. Can this be the introduction to some more super soldiers throughout the MCU, more Winter Soldiers? What is the programs that are going on here? Is Thunderbolt Ross involved? So there's a lot of questions that are being stirred in the pot based off of what they're laying the ground for the remainder of the season. So at the end of episode 1, we saw the introduction to the new Captain America US agent, whatever you want to call him, John Walker. Obviously, Falcon gave up the mantle of Captain America. He donated the shield to the museum. They ended up pulling John Walker aside and said, hey, we're going to use you to be the next Captain America, whatever. We can see that it's not the same. Like, I know personally, myself and Natalie watching it, it was hard for us to really connect with the character of John Walker versus the connection that we have had with Captain America. I mean, he is like one of the faces of the Avengers, one of the faces of Marvel. So he really seems just like a knockoff, secondhand version of Captain America. And Personally, I'm hoping he's not going to last past this season. Moving forward in the episode, we see the hijacking scene, I guess we can call it, on the highway or whatever, where Falcon, Bucky, the new Captain America, U.S. agent, and Battlestar, they are all on there fighting on top of the trucks. I thought the fight sequence was really good. The stunt choreography and the fight choreography, everything was really well produced. And we can just see how strong these flag smashers are. I mean, the one girl ran straight through the billboard like it was nothing. Not to say that they're probably potentially stronger than Captain America, but that shit looked like it hurt, and she walked right through it like it was no problem. So I'm curious to see just how strong they are and what their limitations may be, or even like what kind of addition of the super soldier serum is this that they are this strong. Is there any side effects? I know later in the episode the guy said you guys all must be starving, so they might have an increased metabolism, but there's got to be some consequences for them being this strong, considering it's like drug induced. So I guess we can figure that out moving forward in the season. After the fight sequence happens, we see U.S. agent Captain America, and they name drop Lamar Hopkins' character. He calls himself Battlestar. I'm gonna reference the encyclopedia real quick just so we can do a rundown for the character, for the people who don't know this character, who he is. So let's get into it. Alrighty, here we are, guys. So clearly the costume is a little outdated. This is a very classic looking costume, but in the show it's a little bit more updated and has a little bit more fashion to it, I guess. But here we go, we'll do a little rundown. So Battlestar, his first appearance was in Captain America 341 in May of 1988. His real name is Lamar Hopkins. Like he said, his occupation is a government agent. He's based out of Chicago. Represent, baby. Height 6'2", weight 196 pounds. Eyes are blue, hair is black. Obviously, this is just comics, so it doesn't necessarily mean that that's how they're going to carry it into the show. And then it says right here, his superpowers and abilities: superhuman strength and stamina, can lift up to 10 tons, excels at hand-to-hand combat, gymnastics, and acrobatics, carries an indestructible adamantium shield. So considering they're doing the show version of him, I am not too confident that they're going to give him an adamantium shield, considering we have never heard of adamantium, and adamantium is very closely related to Wolverine. So maybe he might have some different kind of tech, but I'm willing to bet they're not going to do the shield. Let's do a little bit more backstory on him real quick. After the power broker gave him his powers, Lamar Hopkins became a professional wrestler along with his 3 U.S. Army pals, Jerome Johnson, Hector Lennox, and John Walker. John Walker is the new Captain America. After Walker was chosen to replace Steve Rogers as Captain America, Hoskins became Walker's new Bucky. So he's essentially John Walker's sidekick. So the next scene in the episode, we see Falcon and Winter Soldier. They go to Baltimore to go visit some guy that Bucky knows from his past, was a former super soldier. He was apparently one of the first black superheroes in history. So let's do a quick dive into the encyclopedia real quick and find out who Isaiah Bradley is, and more importantly, his grandson, who is known as Patriot. Here we are, guys. It says Patriot right there. He is one of the founding members of the Young Avengers, which is a project that, if you've been watching my channel, you've seen I've talked about it based on WandaVision with Wiccan and Speed and certain other characters that are going to be introduced in the MCU. But let's go over who Patriot is. So this is Elijah Bradley. He is the grandson of Isaiah Bradley. So maybe this was the kid who answered the door, or I don't think they ever did a name drop, but Elijah is going to be one of the core members of the Young Avengers, if that is a project that Marvel will be working on. It says here that his powers are, it says, for a time, Patriot used MGH, which is a mutant growth hormone, to give him advanced strength, speed, and durability. But now he has the powers due to the super soldier serum. So I'll do a quick backstory on him. It says Elijah Bradley is the grandson of Isaiah Bradley, the Black Captain America of World War II, which is kind of like what they were alluding to based on the dialogue that he was having with Bucky. He says his mind was reduced to that of a child after the super soldier serum went wrong after it empowered him. And then as we move down, it says here that Elijah used to use MGH, which was the mutant growth hormone. He used to use that to power him up and give him the super speed, super strength, and all that, all the superpowers that he has. And after he essentially almost had like an overdose, his grandfather, Isaiah, gave him a blood transfusion, and within his blood, he had the super soldier serum. So it like transferred into him genetically, and then he was able to maintain those powers without having to take the drug. So it'll be interesting to see if that's how they introduce Patriot in this show. Maybe we'll get a name drop or maybe a phone call that says, hey, Isaiah, your grandson got into an accident. We need you to do a blood transfusion. Boom, that's all they can do to just kind of lay the groundwork for this character to be introduced. But I really want to quickly focus on the MGH hormone that they were talking about, the mutant growth hormone. This could be what the Flag Smashers are trying to get their hands on. It could be some form of like the X gene. I know we talked about a lot of the X-Men stuff in WandaVision and how I said that I would try to be a little bit more grounded with my theories for Falcon and the Winter Soldier based on how many theories didn't come to life in WandaVision. But for this theory, let's just say that the Flag Smashers got their hands on some form of mutant growth formula like the one that is being referred to in this book here, and they found out that there's some certain X-Men who are born with these different codings in their DNA, and they really use that to give themselves superpowers. That can be an introduction to the super soldier serum again, as well as mutants within the MCU. So there's two different paths that they can go this way, and I think it'll really work seamlessly based on the storyline that they're going through. But enough about them. Let's move to the end of the episode. So we see at the end of the episode, Bucky, Falcon, they have their interaction with the psychologist. And I will say I was very appreciative of this scene. As being somebody who studied psychology, I understand the shit that Bucky's going through, especially when he says, you know, why did you give up the shield? Captain America believed in you and you let him down. So maybe he was wrong about you. So that means that he was definitely wrong about me. And I think I am a big fan of where they're going with the storyline for Bucky, because he has, just like I said earlier, he has a lot of shit that he's done in his past, and he feels like he doesn't deserve all the support that he got from Captain America, all the support that everybody has given him. He feels like he's a lost cause, and they should have just let him die, or they should have killed him off when they had a chance, because he doesn't feel like he has any chance of redemption. So I'm appreciating his storyline a lot, because it is a redemption arc that he's trying to go on, similarly to like Thor when he lost his hammer and he went through that whole journey of Ragnarok to really become one with himself and the Odin Force. I feel like that's the same deal that's going on with Bucky. He's really trying to dig deep and look into his roots, that, you know, he is a good person. He just did some serious shit that now he's trying to make up for. So that's it for the episode, but got a little special addition to this episode since I've had this new setup with the pops. I wanted to do a quick little focus on some 3 new pops that I was able to pick up in relation to this show. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with my boy Falcon. This is the one and only Falcon I've ever gotten. I could never get my hands on the Falcon from Civil War, and that Falcon was like reselling for like $60, and I was like, all right, it's not really that worth it. He hasn't been in anything else. I haven't seen any new ones of him, so this is my one and only for now. And I like it because it comes with a little red wing on the side here. So I'll show you guys what we're talking about here. There we go. Got him chilling there. Red wings coming out. You can see he's like using his hands with the little remote control. And unfortunately, we saw in this episode that they destroyed this shit. So maybe he's gonna have some new tech. It'd be pretty cool if he hit up my girl Shuri to make him like a vibranium version of this, and then it would never, you know, get destroyed or anything like that. But his tech, as good as it is, it doesn't stand anywhere near my boy Iron Man or any of them. So with that, let's move on to the next one. So for this next one, I kind of broke my rule. I said that I wouldn't do repeat characters just because there's so many characters and I don't really want to keep collecting the same old guys. I had to get myself a new Winter Soldier because the one I have is from Civil War and he's getting a little outdated. So here he is. There is the new Bucky. You can see his new vibranium arm, looking pretty decent. He's like in mid jump. So this will be my newest addition for Bucky. I've decided I'm gonna start doubling up on some of my characters depending on how sick I think their costumes are. I think it's a pretty good thing that I'm starting now and I didn't do it before when Iron Man had like fucking 17 suits out, but the collection just needs to keep growing, and this is an easy way for me to get multiple renditions of the same character. And here is the last one. This is a new character to the collection, never had before, and I must say his mask is sick. I'm a big fan of the color purple, if you know who I am. So I gotta do the little introduction to the boy Zemo. Here he is. Love that. Simple, you know, he's just decked out with his little jacket. He's got the Sherpa on the collar, purple gloves, purple mask on. Let's go, he's ready for business. And yeah, obviously at the end of the episode, Bucky and Falcon are on their way to go talk to him and find out what he knows about Isaiah Bradley and other super soldier programs that happen throughout history, since this guy is like a literal genius when it comes to Hydra and all of their plans and all that throughout all of history. So yeah guys, that's what I had for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought about the first two episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Let me know which one is your favorite pops out of these three. I'm gonna have to go with my boy here. He just, like I said, he just looks sick. I mean, it's, you know, they say less is more sometimes, and you know, this is all I need. So keep an eye out. My boy CG and I, go check out his channel, Cam for All. We've been working on the March Madness Marvel Contest of Champions. We're still putting up videos. We've been working on the round 1 winners, and we're putting out round 2 shortly after that. So we'll have a lot of content rolling within the next few weeks and months and so just keep an eye out on the channel. The best way you can support the channel is leaving a like, subscribing, and sharing this with your friends so that we can have a conversation about all this geeky shit that I love to talk about. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys have any questions about this episode or any theories that you guys have moving forward. But that's all for now. So signing off. I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate it.